I just uncovered a living nightmare, and I couldn't believe it. It was us women, the ones that are hardwired to protect children, that by buying this product we had most likely hurt a whole generation of children. It's a first-hand look of what it was like for this little boy to grow up in these conditions. It wasn't filtered by an adult or the media. It was pure, raw information. One time he wrote to me and said, "I had a great summer because only one of my classmates was killed." Those words right there, they changed my life forever. And I sell a conflict-free fine jewelry option, and with the proceeds I will go to these diamond mining communities, mostly in West Africa, and sponsor these children. So that is the business plan of MiaDonna. So that's when I started working with scientists and say, okay, how can we create something in a lab? So we hadn't perfected the technology to get them into gem quality, because the larger that we would grow a diamond, the yellower it would get. 2016 now, MiaDonna scientists just grew the largest lab-grown diamond in America at 6.28 carats. The lab-grown diamond is the evolution of a diamond. So we've come a long way, and there are a lot more labs now. I mean, back then there was only one, well, there was 2 labs. One lab went, we're not doing this. No, this is not going to catch on. It's an uphill battle. But now there's labs everywhere, which is great. I always said, evolution of an industry. Once we know better and once we know how to do things better, the product and industries evolve. And so the more people that are creating diamond out there in gem quality, I think is better for the whole industry.
So you say MiaDonna scientists. Is that perhaps a professor who has a grant or something, working at a university, or
no, these are
an actual employee?
We actually contract out. We work with different labs, so we actually don't own our own labs. The good thing about that is that every lab now has a different recipe, which produce different diamonds. So we can have, we've got one lab in America that produces really high quality, large, colorless diamonds, or I use another lab that produces pinks and blues and yellow diamonds, or
Do they, for the pinks and blues, do they have to put some sort of small impurity into the diamond structure to get the color?
It's all about the different gases that we release while we're creating the diamond. Okay. Yeah.
All right, interesting. So you actually created the supply chain.
Correct.
That's fabulous.
Yeah. I mean, as I said back in the day, we were going up against the earth mine diamond industry, and they didn't want this to come out at all. So it was a real uphill battle, and the diamond manufacturers, like I said, one of them pulled out and said, no, we can't do this, it's too hard. But I was there saying, do it. Let's create this diamond. I promise you I'll be able to sell it. There's a market for it. And I've proven that to be correct.
I'd like to come back to the eco in a minute, but because we're mentioning the supply and stuff, so there, I'm sure you've been interviewed a few times. De Beers announced a $94 million lab here to be built in this area. Is that good, bad?
In Portland, I couldn't believe that. Little old Portland. As I said before, the more people growing diamonds in a lab, I think is fantastic. But it's kind of ironic that De Beers have really tried to stop this technology from taking off. They have tried to...
The incumbent.
Right. I mean, they've tried to sue me. They have belittled me, attacked my character. They've tried to really stop the growth of lab-grown diamonds. And then they announced that they're growing diamonds just up the street from me. Was very interesting. But they have just created the biggest awareness campaign for lab-grown diamonds. It's absolutely been amazing, and I'm all for it. They've got a gazillion dollars behind them, and they are really bringing out lab-grown diamonds to the general public that had previously never heard about anything like this before.
Okay. Yeah. So back to the question of the eco, you said something that was really important to me about the overall ecological positive measure, because I've dealt a lot with electric vehicles, for instance, and we've argued about whether the mining and the electricity production and the coal and this and that is actually better or worse by the time you get to the electric vehicle. Fracking with natural gas vehicles, is it better for the environment or not? So where would I, if I were looking for that data, where might I find that information?
Stanley Morgan did a huge study, and also Frost and Sullivan did a huge study on the environmental impact of an earth mine diamond versus a lab-grown diamond. And that's where I got the statistic that lab-grown diamonds are actually 7 times less the environmental impact than an earth mine diamond.
Okay. Being an engineer, I wondered about how you produce all that pressure and stuff, and that takes energy.
It
so that's
does
great
take
to know.
energy. A lot of labs right now are using solar or hydropower. They're trying to offset the power by some natural source.
Oh, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. So you said you're a social enterprise.
Correct.
So your vision of success is going to be different than De Beers. De Beers, it's bottom line dollars kind of thing.
That's an old-minded industry.
You're a business and still have to make money because you need money to support the foundation. So how do you define success?
The impact I'm creating. It is, I mean, with my foundation, the Greener Diamond, it's so exciting at the moment because we've been able to do things that I only dreamt of doing 12 years ago. Right now we're currently looking at, we've taken all Everything we've done in the past 12 years and seen what worked and what didn't work, what created the most impact and what really didn't work. And now we're rolling out our own farm. It's going to be in Bong County in Liberia. And it's going to be a 10-acre farm where the communities actually come to our farm, stay with us in a dormitory style of living situation, and they learn everything from fish farming to growing their rice, everything they need to know. Then they'll go home to their own lands with a set of tools and then be able to grow food in their own farms. And we're going to train 200 people at once at this farm.
So when you say tools, you mean physically tools, education, and probably seed from what I've
Correct.
Okay.
It's kind of like a microloan, but not in cash. It's going to be in
I know. I was very proud. I got a little note from Kiva, an organization you probably have heard of, and somebody had repaid their last $8.26 of a loan and stuff, and I didn't have a way to say congratulations and thank you through the Kiva system that I found. Maybe it's there, but I just didn't find it yet.
Yeah.
So
that's actually a good
wonderful.
point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's exciting.
E-commerce. In fact, Mao, when I talked with her, she said this was an e-commerce. Now, it wasn't the first words I would have used, but you've started a home shopping kind of approach. How's that going? Are there any issues that you need to work out? And I'm curious if it might be age dependent. Some people more comfortable with home shopping that and others less.
So we are web-based, but we do have a showroom here in Portland that people can come visit. It's actually a luxury showroom, so we shut it down for the customer for a whole hour, beer, champagne, wine, and just pull everything, all the jewelry out of the cases, and they can try on everything. So that's a great experience, but we are web-based, about 90% web-based. And well, millennials, the ones getting married at the moment, about 27 years old, is the Americans' national average of getting married. And they really appreciate the technology, I feel, that it takes to create a diamond, but then also the ease and personal experience of shopping online. We do realize that it's a style. Engagement rings are a style, so people need to actually see it and touch it. So we have a home try-on program. People can order 4 different rings, well, 3 at the moment, 3 different rings from our website, and we will send them out a sample of each of those rings. They can try it on the comfort of their own home and then send it back to us, totally free of charge. But then we also have a 30-day return policy, so you can order anything off our website, because all our jewelry is made to order. Because on our website you can choose the setting, but then choose the center stone, side stones, metal type, ring size. So you actually create it yourself. We will make it for you in our facility in New York and send it to you. If you don't like it for any reason, not totally in love with it, you send it back for a full refund. So we have made it very easy for the consumer to shop online.
So I've in the automotive industry and industrial automation, we're doing a lot with augmented reality and virtual reality and things like that. And I could easily imagine that as a minimum, you have 360 views capable on your website, but it can go beyond that in the very near future, where if they have some Oculus Rift glasses or something, they could actually be looking at it sized properly.
It's exciting. It really is exciting with the technology that's coming out. And I as an entrepreneur myself, I tend to go totally extreme. Everyone's got to pull me back a little bit, like, no, we can't do that quite yet. But it's exciting, yeah. Sky's the limit. We're growing leaps and bounds with the technology for e-commerce, so it's exciting.
One of the little detail things that you have to do is you sent some little measuring devices when you do the home shopping so that they could get some sort of an idea. Now, I grew up, my father did some jewelry making. He was a tool and die maker, so in the basement he did anything and everything. And so we had, the full set of trial sizes, just like any jeweler would have. And, he could measure, on the, I don't even know what it's called, but the metal rod that you check the sizing on and stuff. That seemed a little bit difficult to get sizing that way. How?
So with a home try-on, or even not with a home try-on, anyone can contact us and we can send them a ring sizer. So it's just basically, it looks like a little belt, really, that you wrap around your finger, and it will
as
tell you the
opposed
sign.
to the various sized ones that, my dad had the big ring with every size.
If you come into the showroom, we'll probably do it the old school way.
Okay.
But if you need something at home, we can definitely send you a home try-on ring sizer.
Okay, wonderful. You started out because you were dissatisfied with the supply side of the business. And I think about some of the other stories that I read in the news, and what comes to mind, I mentioned fracking and electricity generation for electric vehicles and batteries. Mining of cobalt and lithium has some of the same issues, I think. And then, of course, in India with the clothing industry, kind of right next to jewelry.
And gold.
Similar thing.
Gold's just as complex as diamonds are. All our gold that we use actually is recycled. So we're not mining for gold either.
Okay.
Yeah.
So similar issues, but they haven't
Correct.
come up like an entrepreneur and decided to make a social conscious business out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else would you like people to know?
Well, just like you said, and I love it that right now consumers are way more they're way more conscious of what they're purchasing. They want to ask questions. They want to know the origins. It's not about just price and marketing anymore, which is that very old school way of selling goods. The short-term financial gains at the long-term cost to the people and planet is simply no longer acceptable. So I'm loving where this consumer trend is going.
All right. That's wonderful. Well, thank you for actually creating an industry. I didn't realize that when we started down this path. Thanks for talking with us and telling us about how to build value in a business and the 7 forces.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.